Hello pool players, Ron here. Welcome once again to the Pool Student channel, and thank you very much for watching, everyone. It's been a while since I've done one of these sit downs, but I thought I needed to do this. I got a lot of new subscribers lately, almost 20,000 now. I appreciate you guys for supporting my channel, and I'm really working hard to try to help everyone I can get better at this game. Now, that's what this whole thing is about. I wanted to kind of bring you up to date with my evolution. Now, those of you who are new to my channel, just know this, that less than 3 years ago is when I actually started working on the game of pool. And I couldn't pocket 3 balls in a row. It was really bad, and it was really all about my fundamentals. So I wanted to kind of bring you guys up to speed as to what it takes for you to get good at this game. And I can only give you my point of view because I've lived it. I'm very dedicated to this game. I love it. I'm addicted to it, actually. But let me just try to bring you up to speed. One of the things that I did when I started was to shoot a straight in shot. Kitty corner from one corner to the other, ball in the center of the table, kind of a variation of the Mighty X drill. I did the Mighty X drill as well, followed Niels Feijen. He was my first YouTube channel that I actually really paid attention to. Love Niels, does a great job. If you guys aren't a subscriber to his channel, you need to be, because he has some great knowledge. He's a world-class player. But I followed him. I actually even got an online course of his later, once I started into league play, where I needed to have my mental game stronger. And I highly recommend that as well. Go with something, one of his packages, because it'll help you in a game. And it was really mostly about breathing and controlling yourself and being calm, all of the above. And we can talk about that. That's a separate subject in itself. But what I did is I shot that straight in shot because my stroke was not fundamentally sound. I needed to have a good stroke so that I could continue to grow in this game. And eventually, it took about a year where I got rid of an old jab stroke problem that I had. It started out from the very first day I started on my table. I didn't realize, and I ingrained a bad jab stroke. And it took me forever to get rid of that, a year. But it was a great thing, because that's what really started to transform my lack of ability to having ability, okay? From there, once I had my stroke fairly good, and I say fairly, it wasn't perfect, and it still isn't today. I think we always are working on our stroke. And of course, I'm older, so I have a little bit of wobbliness and everything, and some of you that are older may know what I'm talking about. And you got to be real still at the ball. You know, you got to have a nice action and all of that. And if you can do that, you can then improve your game tremendously in the other areas of the game, like position play, shot making, of course, and such. But what I then did is I started to shoot drills. And I'm surprised about this, because a lot of people don't like drills. But I'm a true believer of drills, because I can attest to my growth in the game was a result of performing drills. And I really only have about a half a dozen drills that I really focused on from the early days, and I still use them today, and they're very beneficial to having us grow in our game. Now, one of the things that happens when you shoot drills is you start to understand the physics that go on when you stun the cue ball or when you spin the cue ball. And then you also learn that aiming, which I don't even like to use the word aim, because I don't really even aim. That's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but I really don't. I basically feel the shot. I know the ghost ball position. I only really look at about 4 fractional points on the cue ball. I mean, on the object ball from the cue ball to go. And that's all I really focus on. I actually have a video on that. In fact, I'll include that video within the description of this video that you guys can look it up. And it's called fractional aiming. It's simple, but it works for me, and I know it'll work for anyone else. Just watch that, and I think it's gonna help your game. So anyway, I did the drills. I didn't only just do the drills per se. These were drills that were continuation drills. So like, let's say 2 balls on the table on the spots. It's called the spot-to-spot drill. Not because the balls are on the spots, but it's because we're looking for a spot for the cue ball. And the spot would be like right here, pocket one ball in that pocket, come back around, this ball in that pocket, and back and forth, and continue until you could do several in a row. And that really started to make me understand the importance of drills. These are continuation drills. They're a challenge. They're very difficult to consecutively run, but the process of just performing those type drills, even if you didn't have success. In fact, I will say this, if you don't have success, that's a good thing, because when you fail, that's when you know what you've done wrong and you make adjustments. And that's what I did, to eventually where I could just boom, pocket one after another and just do a complete run and keep going and keep going and keep going. And very good stuff, very, very good stuff. My 9-10 drill, that's an excellent one. I also have a 4-ball drill where I put 4 where second diamond, 1 diamond over, and I have to stay within the rectangle, playing position to the next shot. This is a rotation drill. These are great, great exercises. If you're not using drills in your practice sessions, I'm telling you, you need to, because it will help you grow quicker. And that's another thing. You know, my growth in this game, less than 3 years, and now I'm today starting to run consecutive 9-ball racks. I like to play a lot of rotation when I practice. See, I got my 9-ball pattern out right now. I actually will add a couple balls to the back side of this rack, and that'll make 11 balls. And then I try to run those out in rotation. And then when I go back to 9-ball, it becomes a lot easier. But for rotation pool, I like it because it's all about position and cue ball control. You know, you make the cue ball travel a lot, you have to put some spin on the cue ball and everything else, but that really helps your game overall, okay? I love practicing that way, and I would suggest that you guys do that as well. I call this practicing with purpose. It's about addressing problem shots of yours and then working yourself up to your ultimate goal, like in my goal would be a 9-ball pattern, where I break and run that rack. Building up to that, the process of building up to that is how we learn the game. Okay, so you can see how this is. I'm a systematic type approach person. And if I can, systematically go about something, that makes sense to me logically, and then I'm very, very dogged in how I do it. I stay very focused on whatever level or whatever step that it is that I'm performing to get myself to that next plateau. And once you've reached that higher level, you're still going to work harder yet to get even to another level. It's so crazy. This game makes us go crazy sometimes, but it's well worth it if we put in the time. But anyway, the video today is just so that I can bring you guys up to speed. You got to start out with your stroke, get your stroke in play, and overall, all of your fundamentals, okay? Then start to shoot straight in shots. That proves that your stroke is straight. If you can get on a bigger table, this is an 8-foot, if you can get on 9 or even a 10-foot and work on your stroke, that's going to be big. Okay, once you get your stroke down, then start to perform those drills. Make sure that you're doing a continuation type situation. That's going to help a lot. Okay, now here's the other thing. Don't get discouraged if you're struggling with drills, because it's the process. I mentioned that a minute ago. The process is how we work through this game. The process teaches us, okay? If you're having trouble learning, let's say English, for instance, here's something that I do. A lot of you know this. I use a paper reinforcement for the cue ball location and an object ball. And it's maybe a cut shot, and I want to learn how to manipulate the cue ball travel. So I might use low inside, I might use low outside, I might use follow inside, follow outside. You see what I'm doing here? From the same position. You're going to learn so much from that. It's going to help turbocharge how fast you learn this game by doing just that. So if you struggle with English and you don't know where to strike the cue ball, people ask me all the time on my channel, where are you hitting the cue ball? You know, that's not an easy answer, because not only where I strike the cue ball, but how I strike the cue ball. If I hit it with stun, that's going to change everything. Okay, you just have to do that. You have to experiment with your shots to know and get that feel for what occurs, the process, right? Practicing with purpose. So that's something you have to know. I don't want to go on too long here, but I'm just trying to convey to you that it's going to take you some time on the table. You can't just do an hour a week. You're going to have to do a lot more than that. I'm not going to sugarcoat this at all. The more you can put time on the table, the better you're going to be. But practice with purpose. Don't just shoot balls. Don't just throw balls on the table and start hitting them around. That's not going to do it for you. Maybe for some people, but most people, no. You're going to have to practice with purpose. So that's really what I want to talk about. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. I answer everyone. Thanks for watching, and until next time, like I always say, keep on practicing.